Hi, I'm Matt, trainer for the National Tile Contractors Association. Thanks for watching this episode of Tile TV. We all know a bad grout job can take a really good tile install and make it look unattractive. We also know a bad grout job can take a bad tile installation and make it look even worse. Today I'm going to mix up some grout and show you the effects of washing too soon. I also want to look at what happens when we wait too long. Plus, we'll talk about when is the right time to start your washing and your cleanup process. One of the best practices I can recommend, as with most things in the tile industry, it's always important to read the back of the bag and get the manufacturer's instructions. Reading the back of the bag of the grout, it will tell us how to mix, how much water to add, how long to mix for, along with a lot of other important information such as the recommended cleanup process. So let's mix some grout and we'll spread this and then we'll talk about it some. Now that we've got this spread, I want to point out something else that the manufacturer's instructions tell us. At 70 degrees, do not spread more than you can wipe within 30 minutes. Here's something else to consider. Today, I'm at home and I set up this module in my driveway. It's kind of cloudy, a little bit rainy, and we're dealing with the humidity at 84%. So not only the temperature is something to consider, but the humidity is going to affect our drying time as well. So I'm going to give this a couple minutes and then we're going to start the cleaning process and we'll take a look at what that looks like. It's been a few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and start washing this. I already know that this is a little too early to wipe this, but this is a common mistake that a lot of people make. And we'll look at the effects of what happens when we wipe too soon. Here's our second section of grout. I've let it sit a little bit longer, and this time I'm going to check it. You can simply take your fingernail, or you can take a popsicle stick, and you can tell when this is starting to set up. It can be anything with just an edge to it, and we want to see how hard this is getting, letting us know that this is ready to wipe. So what I'm going to do is a first initial wash on this, and my goal in doing this is to even out the grout joints and to take the grout off of the surface of the tile. You'll also notice I do not have a lot of water in my sponge. It is a damp sponge, and again, that's a manufacturer recommendation. We do not want to soak this grout down. We just want a nice damp sponge. Okay, I've let this set for a few minutes. I can still wipe the surface. I'm just going to give this a good final wash here, or a second wash. Again, I'm working with a damp sponge. And I'm going on a 45-degree angle. Okay, we're down to our last section here. This one we waited too long. We've got some hard grout that's starting to dry on the surface of our tile. And so we're going to get a sponge, and I'm going to have to use a sponge with a little bit of a scrub pad. We're going to scrub this down and see what kind of results we can get out of this. That's it. We've got all three sections grouted up. Let's get in here and take a closer look and see what kind of results we got from our three different wiping methods. Let's take a look at our first wash. We did this within the first couple minutes, and as you can see, we've got some low spots. It kind of has a chalky look to it, a little bit of color inconsistency, but the biggest thing is that we didn't allow that grout to harden up in the joint before we started washing, so we've hollowed out these grout joints. This second one, I showed you guys using a popsicle stick or your fingernail or any kind of tool similar to that. We checked the hardness of our joint before we started wiping. We were paying attention to the amount of water in our sponge, doing a circular motion, and then we just kind of let that sit again before we wiped it on a 45-degree angle. And we got really nice full grout joints in here, as you can see, and this one looks great. The third one, we let it sit for the longest amount of time, and I had a lot of dried grout on the surface of the tile. I used a scrub pad and I was able to get the grout off of the surface, but the problem is in having to scrub the face of the tile, I've hollowed out these grout joints, and it kind of, you'll notice on both the first one and the third one, you can see the edges of the tile. We see some of the clay body in there, hollowed it out. So I hope that this helps. Just a quick little video on the timing of grout. Appreciate you watching. We'll see you on the road soon.